Good morning. Happy Sunday. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing pretty all right. A little tired and all that, but we're here. Sorry that my black ass is now late 2 weeks in a row.
Damn.
Like,
Let's not make it three. Did your
word.
nails at least come out how you wanted?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on, you gotta show the dick grabber to the camera.
I mean, if they didn't come out how you want, then I'm sure you'd be even more pissed
Oh
off.
no, I would have gone this podcast mad as hell. First of all. But no, my sister put me onto a new spot, and I was just like, all right, yeah, my nails was looking a little, a little raggedy because I had like the same shits from New Year's Eve, and one of them came off from the gym. That's the one thing that sucks about being a gym girl. You know what I'm saying? Like when you gotta like pick up a heavy weight, the shit comes flying off sometimes, and you can't do nothing about it. And now you're walking around with one fucking less nail. So
Right.
yeah, had to fix that, especially because I kind of have a job where my hands are going to be constantly used and in people's faces, and people comment on my hands at all times. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta fix that. But anyway, sorry y'all that I made us late. It's not gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Even my ancestors are tired of me. Like, bitch, come on, you late again. You late again. You know what I mean?
Well, happy Sunday. This is ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Tony Twist, joined by my lovely co-host, Miss Mo. Now, Mo, we're gonna have to update this Mo Culture 316 pod. So, like, this is the ATW podcast. We know you're from Culture 316 pod, but you should put like your Twitter handle or your Instagram handle or something. I used
That's
to have my
fine.
Instagram handle on mine, but I would always fuck with it, or I would say like Tony at your mom's house, or just being stupid. But I don't know, just
Word.
a
It's
just a
like a preset.
suggestion.
My bad. My bad.
Or you could put Mo next to a / late 2 weeks in a row.
He's not gonna get off my case for that. He's
Nah,
not.
that's all right. That's my last comment.
No,
Anyways,
it's cool. It's cool. I can take it.
it's Sunday. We are just 6 days away from the Royal Rumble. Uh, Now it's WrestleMania season. Well, Royal Rumble kicks off WrestleMania season. I don't know about you, but out of the four major pay-per-views, you got the Rumble, you got Mania, you got SummerSlam, you got Survivor Series. To me, Survivor Series, I mean, being one of the big four, it's kind of garbage now. I don't really like Survivor Series
Oh,
anymore. It used to be the four big pay-per-views were always something I would always be excited for. But I think next to WrestleMania, Royal Rumble's got to be my next favorite pay-per-view. Something about the Rumble I've always loved. The
hmm
countdown, who's going to show up, what surprises are there going to be, who's going to make their comeback. So today we're going to talk the Royal Rumble, but not only that, tomorrow, Monday Night Raw is the 30th anniversary show. Is Mo excited for the 30th anniversary of Raw, or could she give two shits less?
I just, bro, I can't even get through a full 3 hours worth of Raw anymore. I have to be bored out of my mind to check in to see what's going on with Raw because it's to a point where like you really cannot watch the weekly shows but know exactly what's going on and just pay attention to the pay-per-views because I man, Triple H, he's been doing a very C plus like job as of
Right.
late. There's some improvements, but the show is still hot garbage. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm not super excited. The only thing I thought that was kind of cool was I think I saw in the reports they was going to bring back like G Generation X. It was going to bring back people that are part of the bloodline. We're going to see fucking Kane and the Undertaker come out, and a few other people. That I thought was pretty cool. But at the same time, I do question to myself, damn, like. How many times are we gonna keep pulling out of the nostalgia basket
Right. You just
before
took
we
words
can?
right out of my mouth because I was going to say, how many times do we need to see a DX reunion? It's like, fuck. It seems like it's supposed to be special. I don't know. And I feel like WWE has kind of, I don't know, like these moments are not special anymore. I'm one for nostalgia, and I'm pretty nostalgic when it comes to wrestling. But there's a point where just like fuck, I don't want to see Shawn Michaels and Triple H. come out to the DX music and this
Listen,
and that, blah blah blah. It's like, come on.
I don't want to see Shawn Michaels ever again, ever since I saw that Saudi Arabia show and he was bald. I'm
Right?
down the inside as a fan when I saw a bald Shawn Michaels. It's not even because I have something against the ball community. All right, we all know that was something on Twitter like a week and a half ago. No shade, Tony. Shade. It's just like the Shawn Michaels I knew had a full head of hair and it was in a ponytail and it was bouncing. And when I saw the headband gimmick, I died on the inside. There's two bald, like raisin looking men going up against two other elderly men with like several hip replacements. And I'm like, I don't want to see another DX reunion ever again after that. I love Shawn Michaels. I love what he's doing in the back with NXT. But I don't want to see another reunion. I can't do it. I can't. And this makes me think, going back to my other point, like, what are you gonna do when these people are so old that they're, in wheelchairs and holding canes? What are you gonna do for these reunions? Like, you guys have not properly built up real stars, and it's showing because we're referring back to 20 something years ago for an anniversary. How about some callbacks from 10 years ago?
Right.
Was anything actually good 10 years ago? Or how about 5 years ago? We don't really have any like top stars beyond like, the peak of wrestling years ago. And it just kind of blow minds. I just can't. Damn, there goes my phone. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really excited. I don't really plan on watching it. I'm sorry. I'll watch the pay-per-views. WWE, honestly, the hit or miss with the pay-per-view, so I'll definitely tune in with that. But man, when it comes to a fucking TV show, I can't.
Right. How do you like the Rumble, though? Are you a big fan of the Royal Rumble?
When it's done right, I absolutely love it. 2020 and 2021 was honestly very good. 2022, I don't even think I made it to the men's because the female one pissed me off that much. And I'm like, how do you mess it up? Like, especially with the high that we had with 2020. I know the booking for the women was ass. You know what I mean? But the overall Royal Rumble was amazing for the women in 2020, even though Charlotte won and it was supposed to be Shayna. Like, you could not have complained about that booking. On the men's side, we had Edge. We had that amazing thing with Keith Lee and Brock for like 2.5 seconds and things with Roman and stuff like that. Shit, that was amazing. And then 2021, no fan won as hard as I did in 2021. I had Edge and Bianca. Everyone knows that I go hard for Bianca and Edge. Right. Like, I was living in bliss in 2021. Then just in 2022, it just like they kind of, I don't want to say they killed the Royal Rumble for me, but I didn't think you could really ruin the Royal Rumble. Because all that the Royal Rumble really should be is like you put in all the feuds that have been going on throughout the year and you show them, you make them pop up here and there during the feud, but then you give that gift and you give that rocket and strap it onto one person to tell a story up until Mania.
Right.
It's a simple formula, and I don't know how they botched it. And then with the men, it was just forgettable. So I hope that this year they pull through because they have to have seen the reactions with the fans.
Right. Well, last year they made that whole big fucking deal like, oh, the Forbidden Door, the Forbidden Door, Forbidden Door, and fucking we got Mickie James. All right. That was it. Like, on the men's side, there was nobody that came over from another organization. I thought that was such a fucking letdown. They had all these women, all these women that sucked. Was it Summer Rae and like all these other women?
Cameron came back too.
Yeah, it's like,
who was looking for Cameron? Who was checking for Cameron?
Well, it's like you keep hearing these rumors like every couple months, like, oh, this former WWE superstar is backstage. And then when you find out it's like Summer Rae or Eva Marie, it's like you're throwing fucking superstar around really loose because nobody's clamoring for Summer Rae. Fucking Eva Marie might be the most hated woman wrestler of all time. And it's not because she was a good heel. It's because she was straight fucking garbage.
Weird. And then what pissed me off about the female Rumble too was you finally gave us Melina, and there's a lot of Melina fans online, man. A lot of Melina fans and a lot of people that think that, all right, if you couldn't give Trish Stratus to Sasha, Melina was the best second pick to go against Sasha, and you guys gave us like what a 20-second Cox tease. The best part of it was the splits, but that was like really insane to have a legend come back with such an entrance, and then you wasted it within 20 seconds on both ends because Melina and Sasha could both hang. There's no reason why they should have been eliminated that soon. So
Absolutely,
that was
absolutely
terrible.
Yeah, now that we talk about it, last year's Rumble fucking blew. I think the matches were solid, but yeah, I was definitely disappointed because of the whole Forbidden Door thing. I was really expecting to see some big surprises.
Yeah.
I think we're in store for some surprises this year, though.
They have no choice but to.
Right? Shout out
New Japan.
Shout out to the Pro Wrestling Podcast. The Pro always showing love. What's going on, man? Hope all is good. But yeah, I think I'm gonna let's throw it out there. I think my big surprise, I think that we're gonna see. I don't know if he's gonna be Matt Cardona, if he's gonna be Zack Ryder, but he's gonna be my surprise pick in the Rumble. Like that, he's coming back. Not that he's gonna win it. I'm saying I think Matt Cardona is gonna show up in the Rumble. I don't know how the WWE crowd or WWE universe will receive him because the dude has fucking dominated the indie scene since he got released. The guy's won belt after belt after belt. He's a fucking badass heel. But how does WWE bottle that? Bring him back as Matt Cardona, which is his real name and not Zack Ryder. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm a little indifferent to him. I don't particularly care for him. I should, right? Because he's from Long Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's very much doable to bring him back. I don't see. I mean, if he comes back and he's like a WWE superstar and it's not just a pop up, because WWE has a weird like obsession with having intellectual property and all that stuff like that. I mean, I can see him coming back just as is, and then you just plug in the theme music and you get the pop from the crowd that you need. Because that's all that you really need out of someone that's just doing a pop up.
Right. I don't think it's going to be temporary. I think he's back with the WWE. I have a feeling. And they're saying that his wife, Chelsea Green, she's also back. And I think you're going to see her in the.
How do you feel about Chelsea?
Oh, I love Chelsea. I think she's awesome. I think she's an amazing heel. I think she might be as good. She's definitely on level heel status with like Charlotte Flair because people really love to hate Chelsea Green. She's talented though. She's really talented. She's great in the ring. I've seen her in some hardcore fucking matches. I'm not big on death matches or hardcore matches, period, nowadays because the shit has kind of gone off the rails. It's not like how hardcore matches used to be back in the day. But I'm going to say those two are going to be my surprise picks to show up in the Rumble. Not to win it, but to show up in it. Well, who do you think the world just might be shocked at to see in the Royal Rumble this year?
Well, this is not a shocker. It's just been advertised, but I know Cody's going to come back. That's more of a return, not really like a shocker, right?
Right.
But Jay White, he's been on the radar. And I feel like, honestly, I could see him being more prosperous in WWE than if he went to AEW. Because he kind of like reminds a lot of people of Edge. And he's young, he still got it. I mean, like all his heel stick, like the way he just acts like an opportunist chicken shit heel, just like how Edge would. I feel like he has that sports entertainment factor that would work really, really well in the Rumble. And it'd be a huge shocker because, I mean, I don't think, yeah, they had AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, but when's the last time you actually heard like, a name that came straight from New Japan?
Right.
That was white hot, that went straight to WWE, So I feel like, yeah, I could totally see Jay White and I could see him being plugged in with another feud with Cody and work his way up the ranks. I think that'd be awesome. And then for the females, I still am strong belief that Naomi's going to come back. And considering that like your homegirl's out here in Stardom and New Japan, and clearly that's working out well for her. If WWE was smart in keeping Naomi around, because I know she's not going anywhere, considering that her man's in WWE. I know she's not going anywhere. They want to make it make sense. The Royal Rumble has been Naomi's pay-per-view. every single year, and she just keeps losing. And she was close to winning when she was going against Bianca. That was an amazing performance in 2021. It would make so much sense if they had her come back, get that huge ratings pop, but also do the unthinkable and give her the Royal Rumble win. Because again, like that is her pay-per-view. Like that literally is her pay-per-view. Every single year, she always tries to pull off a new trick. It's like, can she at least for 1 year pull off a trick and win? And everyone will be happy. Like no one could complain about that decision. And you can just book her to, go for either title. I don't know which title I would give it to, but I mean, again, she really could go for either title.
Do we need to see a different Naomi, like a heel Naomi?
Heel.
I think we definitely got to see that, because I think the babyface persona, I think there's something missing there for her. I think if she comes back as a heel, I'd like to see her join the bloodline, to be honest with you. They need a woman in the bloodline. I think they need to shake things up with the bloodline. I think the whole thing with Sami Zayn is kind of coming to a head. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with that. But I would really like to see Naomi in the bloodline as like just a straight up hardcore heel.
Oh yeah, and it would add so many layers that they're all holding the belts, and you have a female that has the title belt too. Like, you could do so much with that. And Naomi has proven time and time again that she's an amazing heel. I mean, you can refer back to her work with Team Bad. Like, it just comes to her so naturally. But also, like, she has a real reason to be mad. She really could come back and shit on everyone and shit on the whole company and everything. Like, It kind of just writes itself. So I feel like they should just give her more creative freedom when she comes back and let her be a heel, let her reinvent herself. She could still keep the glow character, but just come back with a slightly different look and a slightly different just aura to her. But she got it.
Right.
She got it.
Well, maybe they're setting something up, but kind of like, I think they might be alluding to something, because you saw Rhea Ripley step up to Solo Sikoa, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Personally, I don't want to see Rhea wrestle any dudes. I don't know. It's just not my thing. I don't really want to see women wrestle men.
I saw.
Well, hold on. I'll jump back into that in a minute. But I think Naomi, like, coming out of nowhere and she steps up and maybe stomps a mud hole in Rhea, I think that would be kind of cool. Then it might kind of set up a bloodline versus Judgment Day kind of thing. But I don't know. But then you got two heel groups going at it. I mean, maybe not.
That'd be pretty cool.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely do.
I don't know how I feel about Judgment Day. All of those guys on their own as singles, I'm fans of, except for Dom. I think fucking Dom sucks balls. But Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, like all of them as singles competitors, I think are great. I'm not sure how I feel about the Judgment Day faction. I don't know if they're going to stick around, if they're, I don't know what they're doing. What do you think about Judgment Day?
Judgment Day felt promising in the beginning when Edge was running it, and then it kind of just became very monotonous. Like, it just had it became very repetitive very fast. And it's kind of weird because, like you said, all those people in the group individually are amazing, but then you put them together and it's like a whole bunch of nothing. It's kind of like how I feel about Damage Control. I love everyone in that faction. However, the faction really hasn't done much of anything.
Right.
And it didn't help that they brought Edge in and then had him basically immediately get kicked out.
Yeah, like that didn't even last. Like, that was like a minute.
Yeah, and it's easily forgettable to even remember that Edge was like attached to that.
Right.
I feel like they just wanted like a reason to make him do the Broad character again or something like that. I don't know. I didn't understand what was the whole point of it, because there was no longevity in it, and it didn't really elevate anyone else. I mean, the only person that's really getting like any benefits off of this is Rhea
and Dom.
Dom now. Now he is. That's because of Rhea, not because of the bloodline, because of just Rhea and the association with Rhea.
Right. So I guess if anything, it's kind of elevating him a little bit. It's not doing anything for her, I don't think.
No, I feel like she's getting a lot more attention. That's one thing. Rhea's look, it looks amazing. A lot of people actually want to see Rhea with the title, which I don't particularly care for, but it's giving him a good rub because I don't think anyone could have got behind his cheesy look.
Right.
Like he's tall, he's lanky, he has his baby face. He had like the most just blase looking ring gear originally. And then sticking him with his father all the time for this long just got very boring, very cheesy. But now I love that I love that they brought him back as a cholo. To me, it's so funny. But then I also like how they're throwing in little elements of Eddie, like with the mullet that Eddie used to
Right.
rock. Now he's actually lying, cheating, and stealing like a fucking cholo. Like I see the little subtle things that they're doing with Dominic, and I like the dynamic between him and Rhea Ripley. Ripley? I said her name wrong. Rhea. So I think that if you give him some time, kind of like they're prepping him, he could be a really good heel. So I'm actually getting around to him, but before, like, he did nothing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that faction. I wouldn't be mad if they broke them all up and maybe it just goes off as Rhea and Dom, kind of like how they had China and Eddie Guerrero back in the day.
That's what it is. That's literally what it is. The
Yeah.
faction's just there, just occupying time and space because they don't have enough tag teams.
Right. Absolutely. So, who are you saying I know you were talking about the women and the men. You were saying Jay White would be somebody you'd like to see show up in the Rumble. But do you think you think he would be well received by the WWE fans, or they're going to be like, who the fuck is this guy?
No, a lot of people know who Jay White is. And it's a lot easier for people to identify with the people from New Japan that like either are Americans or British or just speak English in general.
Right.
Like their work is more circulated back here from what I'm noticing. But yeah, no, I know a lot of people that are a big fan of the Switchblade. And I feel like he's very easily liked just because he's that good. Like once you give this man a mic, like you're just sold.
Right.
Because he gives you a little bit of nostalgia of Edge without actually being exactly like Edge. I don't know how to explain it, but you have to just listen to his promos, look at his body languages, and look at the shit that he would pull in the ring when it came to his matches. Because he sold me when I was watching his match against Kota Ibushi. I think this was it was definitely 2 or 3 Wrestle Kingdoms ago, and he had me so mad I was so ready to flip my laptop. Because and then I realized he's getting underneath my skin the same way Edge used to when I was a kid. I'm like, wait, this is good shit. And he knows this is good shit. And like the thing about New Japan for me is that like I don't think there's as much sports entertainment over there, but he was given the sports entertainment over there. So I'm like, this guy is perfect. This guy is perfect for going into either avenue. If you wanted to like watch him just for his wrestling and throw him in AEW, but you could still work with him and his character and give the crowd something to connect with if you put him in WWE. I feel like honestly, now that you mentioned Judgment Day, he would actually be a much better faction leader than Edge, if you ask me.
So I keep hearing the correlation between him and Edge. So is Mo going to be changing her handle to Jay White's throat goat?
I don't think Twitter has enough characters, but we'll figure it out. The Switchblade throat goat, we can do that.
There you go. So, all right. So we talked about who could be the surprises. We'll jump into the matches, but first I want to hear who's your pick to win on the men, who's your pick to win on the women.
I thought I just gave it to you now.
No, not to win it. You said who could be the surprise? Like,
I want Cody to still win.
Who do you
I
think?
still want Cody to win.
So you want Cody to win, or you just think he's going to win?
I want Cody to. I'm obsessed with Cody. First of all, I want Cody to win. I feel like that's the perfect like comeback story for him, considering that he went out on top with an injury like a hero, and he just mauls through everyone, and he wins. I mean, you could give it to Sammy as well. I wouldn't mind if Sammy won. I don't think anyone would complain if Sammy won, but I feel like Cody needs to pick up where the fuck he was just at, and he needs to be back on top. And I wouldn't complain if he came and ran through everyone else, because think about it. You just got that video package about how hard it was for him mentally to like prepare to get back into the ring, being out for that long. It would be such a wonderful wraparound if he came back and mauled through everybody and he won, because he proved it to himself and to everyone. So I think it goes hand in hand. So I'm going with Cody. I think Naomi should be a surprise and should win. But if not, I don't know who else has been doing a good enough job that kind of deserves it. Like, I always wanted Shayna to have some form of an opportunity, but I think she's flatlining. I think she's flatlining where she's at. And as far as the other females go, no one has been doing, again, anything of importance to win the Rumble. Like, for the crowd to care that they're winning the Rumble. Like, normally you want to throw it to a mid card so that they get a little rub, but there's no mid card that no one gives a fuck about. Do you have one?
All right. I'm going to throw this out there. I want Cody to win. I think he's going to win.
Yes.
I think where they'll fuck this up, because WWE's known to fuck up storylines, I think this could go one of two ways. Either Cody wins, he challenges whoever at Mania. I would like it to be Roman, and then he takes the belt or belts from Roman. I really want them to split up the belts. I really don't. They're not doing this right with having one champ with two belts. To me personally, I think they've dropped the ball on it. I think they didn't really know what the fuck they were doing. And just so much has been up in the air. So I would love to see Cody versus Roman at Mania. But here's where WWE could really fuck this up. They've already kind of put it out there a little bit. I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan. I love Seth. And if you've watched this show, our show, you know I'm a big Seth Rollins fan. I think his character development, I think his transformation over the years, the guy's kind of done it all. But I think where WWE might fuck this up is if maybe Cody's like about to win, and then maybe Seth somehow fucks Cody over. Cody doesn't win the Rumble, and then they continue this stupid feud that they kind of been teasing that they're going to bring back. I don't want to see Cody and Seth Rollins go at it again. I just don't. I think it's a waste. But WWE's been known to fuck things up, and they've been known to beat a storyline to death. And I think, I really hope we don't see that. It would be kind of nice that if the Rumble came down to two guys, that it was Cody and Seth, and then Cody wins. I think that would be a good way to end the story with him and Seth, and Cody move on to go after what he's been wanting to go after since he came back. I think that would be a perfect way to end Cody and Seth and have Cody move on into the title picture. That's what I would love to see. I don't know if it's going to shake out like that. As far as the women goes, I totally agree with you. I think if Naomi comes back, she deserves a shot. She should win it. She should really just kick some ass, dominate. Maybe she's in there. I think what would be awesome is, because they've done this with the men's, they've never done it with the women. Say Naomi comes in at number 1 and she makes it all the way to the end. That would be pretty badass. If she shows up number 1 and she wins the Rumble, I think that would be really cool if they did it that way. I don't really have any other picks for the women. I can't really see anyone else. Like, I don't even know. Like,
any female returns you want for the women? Like maybe some old timers, since they like picking out that basket?
I don't really give two shits about, like, I don't know. It's cool to see a person show up at the Rumble for like a minute, but it wears off really quick, because if they're too old school, especially in the women, they're not anywhere in the caliber where the women are today, right? So on the men's side, it's a little different. But on the women, I just think the old school women wrestlers, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to see Lita. I could give two shits about Lita. She had like one move. She had a moonsault, and that was it. That's all she did different.
Too.
Yeah, was that?
Twist of Fate too. She had 2 moves.
All right, 2 moves.
Take it easy on my girl Lita.
But I mean, I liked her back in the day, but I don't want to see her now, and I don't want to see her challenge for a fucking title because, like, come on, realistically, she's not anywhere near the caliber of the women are today. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, like these women are just—they're at a whole different level than the women were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Okay, so then
Trish Stratus or it's like I don't want to see any of them. Like I don't want to see any of them. Like
okay, so are there any picks that you like from NXT currently that you would like to see show up in the Rumble?
Not really.
Really? There's not a single girl that you're impressed by.
I gotta be honest, and if you've listened to the show or watched the show, I'm not a big NXT fan. I'm just not. I just never have gotten into it. I'll check it out here and there. But since we're talking about NXT, Braun Breaker, who I've always been a huge fan of his dad and his uncle, I think Braun Breaker coming into the Rumble and kind of mixing some things up would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But on the women's side, I couldn't even I can name a few women from NXT, but coming up and winning, I don't know. What about you?
What if Mandy came back?
That would be pretty crazy since she got fired in the way that she did, and it was only a few months ago. But I think she's all good, making big money on her site, whatever the fuck her site is. It's Fan Time or some shit. I don't even know.
Fan Time.
No, that's what it's called, isn't it? Fan Time. She's not on OnlyFans. She's on like Fan Time or something.
Oh, I know that this is Brand Army. That's the only other one I know about. But that's good for her. That's good for her. I only said that because when she had her interview that came out, I want to say last week, she did say that she has no hard feelings towards the WWE and that she'd be open to coming back. So,
well, of course. I mean, I don't think she's gonna be like, "Hey, fuck them," because no matter what, no matter how you, we don't know what's gonna happen with WWE, who they're gonna get sold to, whatever. But WWE is always going to be the premier wrestling brand, right? AEW is just not there. They're not even close to being there, in my opinion. They're a good alternative to watch, but I don't really feel that they're like tough competition for WWE. I just don't. It's solid. They got a lot of former WWE people, but there's nothing that makes me want to tune in every week to AEW. It did for a while, it did. But to me, a lot of their stories just kind of fall by the wayside. Tony Khan is just not really good on the creative side. I mean, they've dropped the ball with so much and so many wrestlers. Like, so many guys are sitting on the sidelines. Like, for what reason? Just fucking release them. If you're not going to use them, release them. A guy like Miro, right? Or, formerly Rusev. Like, this dude, I've always been kind of a big fan of his. And I think, given the shot, I think he could be a top guy in AEW. But for some reason, the guy's not even on TV. You know what I mean? Andrade, that's another guy that I think they dropped the ball on. And I think one of the biggest things they dropped the ball on, Hook. How do you build Hook up like they did? The guy was like an ass kicker. He's coming out, kicking ass every week. You totally kill his momentum when you team him up with fucking Danhausen. Like, what is that? Like, the guy, you're building him up as an ass kicker. You shouldn't put him with a clown, personally. And, like, where's he been? Like, he was kicking ass, and, like, now he's on TV once in a while. Like, AEW to me is, like, it's just all over the place. There's like no focus. MJF, since winning the title, he seems like he's lost a lot of his edge. I don't know. Like, I can't get behind anything in AEW because I feel like you start
so funny.
Base around somebody and then you totally pull the rug from under them.
It's so funny that you mentioned the MJF thing because I was having this epitome where I was just like, why is it that the chase for our faves to get the title is way better than when they actually have the title?
Right.
I felt like that during Sasha's last reign. Like, I was more excited for her getting all the belts than her actually having the belt. Right. I don't know why, but I felt like maybe it's because they aren't very good at building up everyone else. But that happened with Sasha for me. That's definitely been happening with MJF, Roman. I even got bored of. I've been bored of a lot of the things with Roman. Not that the feuds itself suck. It's just that I get tired of watching certain people. Or Jay Cargill. I love Jay Cargill. I love everything about her, but I'm bored. Like her reign is just boring. It's predictable and just boring. It's just more interesting to watch our faves chase. And it's just like, why is that? Because before, like, we used to love watching our faves win, and like all the reigns were like memorable. Like you remember when they went through this person and this feud happened and this feud happened, and like everyone else ate with you, with that person being champion. But then when they get it, they get cheesy. Like I hated MJS last promo. Like I'm not sure if he's been taking acting classes or something, but it came off very like choreographed and not natural, as if he was trying to like project some villain movie that he was watching, and it was just corny and it was trash, and like these little feuds that they have going, I don't care. I don't. It's actually nicer to see the belt on someone that you can't stand,
right?
And then watching your fave attempt to take it off and then get it off of that particular person. Like, did that happen with Liv Morgan? Everyone was saying, "Oh, Liv deserves better," and then she finally got the belt, and then everyone was just shitting on her the entire time.
Well, because she sucks. I mean, in my opinion, she sucks. Her character is kind of stupid. To me, she comes off as a teenager. I don't know. And
she does.
I don't buy her in-ring ability. She doesn't have any promo skills. Like, she's not, to me, she doesn't give off champion vibe. You know what I mean? Like Bianca Belair. She looks like she'd be the fucking champ. Charlotte Flair.
Oh, yeah.
She looks like she'd be the champ. Like some people just have that look and other people just don't. I don't care how much of a fan following they have and oh, poor Liv, I want to see Liv. Like, I don't want to see Liv be the fucking champ. She's fucking 5 foot nothing. She's not.
Oh, this is controversial, Tony.
Oh, I know. It's all right. I never claim to be not controversial. So, anyways, she's 5 foot nothing. She doesn't do anything spectacular in the ring. I couldn't even tell you what her finishing move is.
I can't either. Wait, no, I think I do know. But go ahead.
Happy on the mic, like it's like very whiny, like cheer for me. I need to like go away. It's to me, I'm just not fucking buying it. You want to be a champ? Come out there and kick some ass, right? I don't know. I'm not a Liv Morgan fan. There's plenty of other women that are fucking badass in the women's division. Why is everyone crying for this, blonde chick because she's hot? Oh, she should be the champ.
Because she's hot.
People should be crying for Asuka. Asuka's a fucking badass. She should be champ. Yeah, she doesn't speak English, whatever. Give her a fucking mouthpiece like Paul Heyman.
I've been saying that. Yo, if Paul goes anywhere, he needs to go straight to Asuka. She's been need a mouthpiece because Vince will just do this thing where they have her go out and act like an Asian stereotype. And just have her just yell random things. And she doesn't she did a little bit of that in NXT, but like they had her act more tamed and have like just a presence where she didn't have to act out and act like a stereotype.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like she would benefit and that like the feuds would mean more because people will be able to like connect with her. And I think that's the biggest issue with Asuka that no one wants to admit. If you didn't like watch her in NXT, I feel like if you just like watched her off of what you got on the main roster, you're not connecting with her because of that. Like you can't even tell what Asuka really is or what the Empress of Tomorrow is about. You just get an Asian woman that's gorgeous with a very interesting look, and she's just yelling random things.
Right? Yeah. I mean, how is anybody really supposed to get behind that? But she's fucking really talented. She can go, and she's probably one of the most talented women, not only on the WWE roster, but really in the world.
Yeah.
And she's just a watered down version of what she should really be. So people should be crying about her not getting the shot, not Liv fucking Morgan. That's just my opinion.
I think we're just bored and we're just choosing people off of looks at this point, and it just kind of sucks. Because there are a few other people that did deserve it before Liv did. And I was on the Liv Morgan bandwagon, but before Liv, I was on the Ruby Riott bandwagon.
Right.
And they still can't get it right in either company.
No, right? Like, what happened to her? Like, they brought over a lot of women over in the AEW, and then they just fucking don't know what to do with them. That Toni Storm, I was never a big fan of hers.
Really?
But what's her fucking deal in AEW? Like, she's Paige Soraya's like fucking henchwoman. I don't know. Like, I could shit on AEW all day.
That should be the next show.
I don't really want it to turn into that, but I'm just not happy with their product. Like, I was very much happy with the product before they started just trying to grab every former WWE superstar.
Right.
I was much happier with AEW's TV show, the product, everything before they just Tony Khan was like, every WWE released superstar, I'm just gonna fucking go after. I don't care. Even if I don't do shit with them or make them look stupid or just put them on the sidelines, like I'm just not an AEW fan at the moment. So, anyways, kind of got off topic. It was supposed to be our Rumble preview, but we talked about
we
talked about the actual Rumble. Let's go into the actual matches now.
I was actually looking that up.
I want to call one thing. If it is rumored that Vince McMahon is kind of secretly running the company, I'm going to call it right now. Do not be shocked if Austin Theory wins the Royal Rumble. That's all I'm going to say. Don't be shocked if it happens.
You mean Vince's bottom?
Yeah.
Literally, that's all I see.
So I know the internet's going to lose their shit if Austin Theory wins the Rumble, but don't be shocked if it happens. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm trying to get the match card.
I got the card right here. So the first match, the pitch black match with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. Does anybody care about this?
The fuck is a pitch black match?
What is that? They're going to wrestle in the dark? I don't understand.
Oh my! They're already flopping with Bray, and he just got here.
Right? I was just going to say, are they dropping the ball on Bray Wyatt already? Or is this building up something really good?
I'll give it a fair shot just this one time, but he's been dead in the water for me since he first came back. Honestly, because like he does this thing where he says a whole lot of nothing.
Uh-huh.
And then when it comes time for something big to happen, he loses or it falls flat. So if Vince is in control, we're fucked. But at the same time, Triple H has been in control. Bray has been back for how many months now?
Like
and
4 months. 4 months.
Yeah, what impact has occurred?
It's been a really slow fucking build, and I'm already bored with it.
Yeah, I don't care for it.
All right. So, do we care who wins this match? Bray Wyatt and LA Knight? I care about LA Knight? I don't know. I mean,
a lot of people like him. I personally don't get it, but maybe from watching this match with a different set of eyes, maybe. I'm trying to understand. Do you like LA Knight? Like, what do people see in him?
I'm going to show my age here because every time I hear his name, I think of the old 10 sneakers back in the day, British Knights. So every time I hear his name, I think of those old ugly ass shoes from back in the 80s and 90s called British Knights.
You're funny.
That's how much I care about LA Knight. I automatically think about fucking British Knights. So let's go ahead and go to the next match. Bianca and Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
Next.
I mean,
you're not about to make me go on an Alexa rant.
Oh, are you? Do it. Ready? Go on an Alexa rant.
I just can't stand her. She's so fucking wasteful. Wait, no. Why do I get the whole screen? Why do I get the whole screen for this? No, wait. Put it back. Put it back and I'll rant.
Come on.
I do not want the full screen.
I want everybody to see Mo go on a fucking rant.
I just can't stand her. She's so fucking wasteful. Like, the peak of her career was because, like, yeah, she was a blonde with that once upon a time had an ass. Now that shit doesn't
have an ass anymore?
No, that shit done deflated. And she looks like a corpse ever since she stopped tanning. I don't know where it went. I'm not sure if the guy that she's with right now, who Ryan Cabrera, like, ain't hitting it right, but that shit done deflated. All right, start there. That's number one.
Sad. And
Huh?
that we got to pour one out for Alexa's booty.
Yeah, I guess. I ain't pouring one out for that shit. That's number one. Number two, she only got off because she was reminiscent of Trish. She stole her whole entire heel shtick. Like, there's nothing original about her. But she
Really?
just literally, no, there's nothing original. Like, literally, she just came in with the Trish persona and she looked kind of okay-ish. And then she like did that Harley Quinn thing and she was just cosplaying, but that was really it. She didn't really elevate anybody. Was she kind of entertaining to a degree, I guess, because again, compared to everybody else, yeah, they had no fucking personality. But the bitch can't wrestle. The bitch can't fucking wrestle for the life of her. The way you want to drag Liv Morgan, listen, at least with Liv Morgan, she tries in the ring and she'll add stuff to her moveset. Alexa Bliss has been around since like what, 2014, 2013. I don't know how
like
long.
10 years.
And the most this bitch has ever done is a DDT and a headlock. Oh, and her favorite, a drop kick.
Well, she does that weird cross body drop off the rope. You know what I'm talking about? She goes sideways. That move.
Yeah,
I never understood that move. I'm like, that move sucks.
She just falls awkwardly. Yeah. That's what it is. She just falls awkwardly and lands on people. But she doesn't actually wrestle, whether she's a heel or a face. There's only one legitimate wrestling move I'll give her credit for, and that's when she does the code red, because I love me a good code red. But she doesn't add anything to her arsenal that pisses me off. Because you've been there for too long and you guys have a literal fucking performance center. If you've been a champion, all right, and you're held into that regard as a top girl, you should fucking be adding moves to your moveset. It should be imperative. Sasha does it wherever the fuck she goes. If she's in New York, she'll go to House of Glory. If she's passing through if she's like in a Spanish speaking country or whatever, she'll definitely wrestle with a bunch of luchadors. She'll wrestle with the Josie wrestlers. Like, she'll always be like adopting and learning new things because she cares for the sport. And it's just like, if you know the company's giving you a rub like that because you're privileged, like, why would you not take this sport seriously, respect it, and try to learn it? And on top of that, again, she's like a one-trick pony. Like, when she's not doing that mean girl shtick, she's boring. This whole like evil thing that she's doing is awkward, it's cheesy, it's lame. She's been watching too many Disney movies and it shows. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, it was cool for like about 5 seconds because you thought it was, she was doing something to help Bray out. But then she's so selfish that she just adopted the whole gimmick and did nothing with it. What did she do with it? She made a doll. Ooh, new merch. Like, she's not doing nothing. She's not doing nothing. And the fact that they're associating her with Bianca is so trash for her, because it does nothing for Bianca's reign. It does nothing for a good match. And it's all just a circle back to pandering Alexa because, again, Vince just has a weird fucking fetish for blondes. It's a weird sick fetish for like tiny blondes she don't got the fake tan anymore, but like, you know what I mean? She don't do nothing for me. She don't do nothing for the business. I feel like if she left and went away, nobody would really notice or miss her because she peaked and that was it.
These are gonna be great sound bites for whatever I decide to post. I'm really gonna I'm gonna love that. That's gonna be awesome.
My god, she just irritates me. Oh my god. we need to continue. You know who my choice is, because
so Bianca squashes Alexa Bliss.
It should be no longer than 10 seconds, to be honest. KOD and exit left.
All right. What do we think? What do we think about Charlotte versus Ronda for the SmackDown Women's Championship? Ronda? We've seen this match one too many times, right?
Is it Charlotte versus Ronda? I see Sonya on my sheet.
Oh, really? I'm looking at off of Bleacher Report. It says Charlotte versus Ronda.
So she didn't beef with Sonya?
I don't know. Well, all right. So who wins? Charlotte versus Ronda or Charlotte versus
I thought I saw a report that said that there's no Royal Rumble plans for Ronda. And then so they inserted Sonya. Oh, and then I did see Sonya and Charlotte like on the timeline. I did not watch SmackDown.
All right. So I was wrong. I guess this fucking Bleacher Report is not up to date. So Sonya Deville versus Charlotte. We have not seen that yet. Can Sonya really go? I can't even can't lie and say I've actually seen Sonya fucking wrestle.
I actually like Sonya, but I think she's a crappy wrestler. I was an idiot and I fell for her being a fighter, and I actually thought that she had an MMA background, but no, she literally just was fucking playing off a fighter when she first came out. But
Right.
I love her character. I love her look. If she could wrestle, she'd be interesting in the mid card division.
Right.
Um, I wouldn't mind if she won, but it's gonna go to Charlotte because when Charlotte comes back, it's all about Charlotte.
Right.
But I like Sonya, and what really sold me on Sonya was her feud with Mandy. That was supposed to be the time where Mandy was supposed to go over, and everyone was supposed to fall in love with Mandy, but it actually worked in the opposite direction, and people actually fell in love with Sonya because we realized that she has range with her character. Again, if her wrestling could catch up, that'd be great. I can't name a single move off of Sonya.
Right.
I cannot, but she has presence, and that's very important in this company.
She looks hot.
Oh yeah, what Sonya? If she didn't have a girlfriend, bitch, call me. But still,
Yeah.
like girl, you see the Twitter handle? Stop playing. But anyways, no, I think she's cool. Again, it sucks that she can't wrestle, and she's gonna get fed to Charlotte.
So the undercard of the Rumble kind of blows, right? Like there's nothing. I'm about to get to the main event, but none of these matches are very like, oh man, I gotta fucking see that, right? Like this card's pretty weak.
It is.
So they really better pull out the fucking stops for the actual Rumble because going over this card is fucking it's kind of garbage. I mean, Bianca and Alexa, I mean that's fucking Alexa's gonna get killed. And then I didn't even know who Charlotte was going up against, and I guess that's how much that even matters on this fucking card. Let's get to the main event. This is the only thing I would be excited about is Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. It is time they break up these fucking belts. They need to have a stipulation before this match that it's only going to be for one belt, and they need to fucking put the belt on Kevin Owens already. They need to stop fucking around. KO needs to be the champ. I would like them to be the Raw champ. Now, they're really building up this thing with Sammy and the Bloodline where there's a rift. Is there a rift? Is Sammy going to fucking somehow screw the Bloodline and help Kevin Owens? I would like to see an accidental Sammy interference in this match. Somehow he unintentionally cost Roman the match and KO wins. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with this. I don't know what they're building towards. Tomorrow night's Raw is going to be the trial of Sami Zayn. I don't know what this is. It sounds fucking stupid.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
that is actually hilarious.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I don't know. It could be a great segment on Raw, but it could really shit the bed. So what do you think about this match, KO and Roman? Do you want to see KO win a title? Do you want to see KO win both titles? I don't know.
Well, okay, let me answer your question in parts. I second what you said about Kevin Owens. I feel like he's heavily slept on, and it's been a minute since we've seen this man with some gold. He deserves it. And I wanted to actually just see him with the belt and just continue what he was doing with Sammy because I love their match that they had when they set up Sammy to tear down Kevin Owens, but then, the Usos, of course, ruined it. And I want to see more of that because that was actually a very good match. I would actually like to see that be like a WrestleMania feud in its own and just let that be. Now, as far as the two belt situation, you actually made a good point earlier about how it's kind of stupid and it does nothing. I don't like it. I don't like the title hogging thing. I feel like it only worked with Sasha and Bailey when they were holding it all during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But the title hogging doesn't do anything in the long run. It looks cool. Like for 5 minutes, it's cool. But then when reality hits that, like, yeah, this person's kind of hogging opportunities from other people. Right. And it's not elevating anyone, especially when he's eating through the whole entire division. I think that it's time to break it up. Kevin Owens is so well-rounded.
Right.
And I would love to just see him work with other people, have different feuds with other people. I mean, like, you can make the man work with anybody. Like, come on, dude. You made Stone Cold come out of retirement. and you build up a whole feud in like what, a couple weeks, and gave us like one of the most memorable WrestleMania moments ever. Like, he's just that guy. And I would just love to see him take the belt off of Roman and just continue with Sammy and just give us some other meaningful storylines. Like, it's been a minute since we had like meaningful storylines.
Right. And then I'm just looking at this card. Why are the fucking Usos not defending their belt on the Rumble? I don't see a tag match championship. How do you not have these guys are the Universal Tag Team champions? Why is there not a match on the Rumble? I mean, this isn't fucking Backlash.
Who are you going to put them up against?
What?
Who are you going to put them up against?
I don't know. I guess fucking this is just it's a big hole on they're really lacking in the tag team division. So I don't know.
I just feel like in general, when it comes to WWE's tag team division, it sucks. And I would prefer it if there was just, since they don't have that many factions or tag teams. I always thought it'd be smart on both the women's and the men's end if there was just one set of tag team belts that bounced around between all three brands.
Right.
Because most of
the do that with the tag team belts, but not with the world titles. So I totally agree. I think a tag team champ could show up on fucking NXT, Raw, SmackDown. They got to defend it against anybody and everybody. That'll really open it up. So I agree with you.
I got that vibe off of watching the New Day have the NXT belts. And I was thinking to myself, like, bro, like, they could have pulled what Sasha and Bailey was doing with the women's belt and just have them bounce around. Because not for nothing, you don't have like real tag teams. Like, a real tag team is, yes, the New Day, yes, the Usos, but everyone else is a makeshift tag team. They're just temporary until one person turns on the other person and they go their separate ways. They're not like an actual unit. So that's why no one cares for the belts, because you know that it's going to bounce back eventually to the same 3-4 people. You know what I mean? So I feel like that would help, and it would make it a lot more interesting because you don't know what brand is the title going to go to. That would be so much more fun. But I mean, it kind of is what it is at the moment. It's too many belts and not enough opportunities.
Absolutely. And on that note, that's going to do it for our 2023 Royal Rumble preview. I hope it's a good show. I really do. I hope the Rumble itself is fucking awesome and we see a lot of surprises, some new faces, some old faces. I'm excited for it. I'm going to have a big old barbecue. I always do a big old party for the Rumble and Mania and all that. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. Just want to say, send thoughts out to Jay Briscoe's family. The wrestling world lost a big name this week. And one of the Briscoe brothers, Jay Briscoe, unfortunately got into a pretty bad car wreck and lost his life. His daughter's doing a lot better, though. So that's good. I know the wrestling world's raising a lot of money for her. So thoughts go out to the Briscoe family. Hope everything. Yeah, I just hope the daughter gets better and they're able to kind of move forward with that. But,
and also love and prayers to Kevin Nash, because he did announce on his podcast that he was feeling suicidal. And also, I didn't see enough coverage on this from anyone, but Amari Miller attempted suicide and no one really talked about it.
No, I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, because again, people pick and choose what's important. So again, love and prayers. I feel like everyone needs to check on their people. Absolutely. Tell someone that you love them, after they're okay, because you don't know. I understand that life gets busy, people get caught up in life, but you need to check on your people because you don't know. Life comes at you just as fast as it did for Jay Briscoe. Not foreshadowing nothing, but I mean, again, like you guys gotta check on your people and just be grateful for what you have and the people in your circle. I'm just gonna leave it on that note. Thank you for everyone tuning in.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have yourself a wonderful Sunday. We are your host. I'm Tony Twist. That's Mo. You guys have a great Sunday. Rumble next week, and we're out.